Greetings, demons, and welcome to Warhammer Weekly, episode 40,000. With that bad joke out of the way, this is going to be a very, very short episode because we have essentially nothing to talk about. There's actually so little news coming out right now, and that's off the back of, multiple weeks of a lot of information coming out, a lot of leaks, a lot of rumours, a lot of reveals. So, yeah, it's a lot quieter this time around. Still got some stuff to talk about, and, no pickups either, so let's just jump into it after this intro.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, starting off with the topics, we jump straight into the Horus Heresy for some 30k, because we have a brand new Thousand Sons Librarian, and this guy's excellent. I'm a huge fan of Thousand Sons. Thousand Sons and Alpha Legion are my aesthetic that I go for when it comes to, Chaos Legions, Chaos, Space Marines. So, very, very happy to be getting another Librarian for that. So, yeah, in general, I don't even remember what the, current 40k equivalent is for a Librarian for Chaos Space Marine, but yeah, if you're playing 30k, a lovely Librarian there. Very, very detailed. Not overly flashy, which is good, appreciated. Thousand Sons shouldn't be overly eccentric. They should just be, they have a little bit of iconography. They have a little bit of, stuff on them. Librarians will always have a little bit more on them than their average Space Marine. But, in general, just a very, very nice looking model. I love the staff, the four-pronged, almost like, I don't want to call it a scythe blade because they're the wrong way. But, just the cleaver? No, not that's... Well, there's a term for it. It is a farming tool, but I can't remember what it is. It's like the curved blade. But yeah, like 4 of those pronged on the end of the spear. Just a very nice look. I love the scarab in the chest. Of course, it's a classic Thousand Sons aesthetic. And just overall, just a very, very cool miniature. I do quite like how he's holding the, the odes, because they won't be, the, what are they called now? I completely blanked on what they're called in 40k, but they're not those. The papers, the warding papers, they aren't for chaos stuff, so very interesting to see them. I do quite like the wind blowing through them or anything, or like the energy that's pushing them along or something. It's just a very nice look overall, and in general, just a very, very nice Space Marine. It is, of course, going to Forge World resin, which is the one downside. It is the case for most 30k stuff, though, realistically, most of the good stuff especially. But, still a very cool model, and, may end up picking it up, probably won't, but, you never know with resin. I might end up picking it up, I might just ignore it completely. But, that's all we've got for 30k. And realistically, I did this a little out of order, because arguably this is 40k. I know technically Red Gobbo himself is 40k, but, also bouncer squigs and stuff, and all the various, rideable squigs don't really exist in 40k normally. But we do have a brand new Red Gobbo-related character, his Nemesis, and that is Degrotmus Gitz. So I suppose this is supposed to be, almost like a Krampus equivalent for the orcs. This guy looks very cool. I do quite enjoy that. As I say, he doesn't have, a 40k aesthetic necessarily. As far as I can tell, unless I'm seriously missing something, this is definitely supposed to be more of the, AOS sort of look. There's a grot with a spear. None of the grots have guns or anything. The closest thing to a 40k thing we have is a tiny, smaller than epic scale version of a Space Marine, which there is actually a Stormcast equivalent there as well, which is really cool to see. And, just in general, I would definitely push this one more in the direction of being an AOS model. I know, as I say, that the Red Gobbo is very much 40k, but, this guy very much feels a little bit more like, AOS. I don't know, that might just be a me thing. I just think he belongs there a little bit more, but, we've got essentially another Santa-style grot, riding on a squig, and this guy's got a bunch of other little squigs with him. He's got one crushed into the snow below the squig, one hanging on for dear life, and one that's in the sack of presents. And, there's also elements of, grinchiness to this guy. He's supposed to be the one stealing all the presents, and, just generally just causing mischief and ruining the Red Gobbo's day. But, a very interesting model, the Degrotmus Gitz, and, I look forward to actually getting this guy in hand. Of course, I will be getting this guy along with the Red Gobbo, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun, but yeah, that is all I can really say about it. It looks great. Love to see more squigs in my Warhammer, so very happy about that. And moving on to the final topic, as said before, this is an extremely short week. We do have the Rumour Engine for the 21st of November 2023, and it's a hand holding onto a rock. Kind of clawy, but it's not like an animal. I'm assuming this is probably something for AOS, specifically being one of the undead factions or death factions, whatever they call them. Potentially could be something relating to like a dragon or something, but I doubt it. I doubt this is orcs either. But yeah, it definitely screams to me. It may even be chaos, but I'm thinking death faction in AOS. If it is 40k, I'm thinking. I mean, honestly, with how it's designed, it's possible it could be something like Samus. If they wanted to go 40k, and it could be a chaos thing. But yeah, very, very interesting. I do quite like, with a lot of these things, I quite like the basing, the structure of the wall or the stonework or whatever it is that this model is like standing on or holding on to. I really do like that aesthetic. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about it. And so, on that note, this might actually be the shortest episode of Warhammer Weekly I have ever done, because even when, before, when we've had very few topics, I've at least had, pickups to go over. I have been, not getting Warhammer stuff, because I need to work for my backlog. I have way too big of a backlog. You've seen it been building. Other than the magazines for Stormbringer, other than Stormbringer, I literally don't get Warhammer. I haven't for months at this point. Because I'm trying to get through my backlog, and it's so much. But yeah, still some cool stuff. I'm a huge fan of that Thousand Suns Librarian, and of course anything that's the Red Gobbo themed. Really do like that. But yeah, tell me what you think of this week's 2 reveals. You may as well talk about both of them because there's not much else to say. Otherwise, tell me what you think of the Rumour Engine. Like that's something I don't usually ask for, but tell me what you think. Do you think it's Samus? I don't legitimately think it's Samus. I think it is something to do with one of the death factions in AOS personally. But I may be wrong. I'm usually wrong about these things. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new and ring that bell, see you in Nemesis upload. Otherwise, it's going to be it from me. And yeah.